Hi there, folks. Welcome back to the Gathering the Garden Market with Sid and myself. Hello again, Sid.
Good morning, John. I'm doing great. Great to see you.
Good to see you again. Before we move you forward, let's just recap what we did in the first session. We looked at grab and go, we looked at drive-through, we looked at home deliveries, we looked at knowledge from apps, and we took a look at the take and make workshops. So let's look at 5 more, if you like, strategies that we can put together to help ourselves get through this crisis. My first one, and it's one of my favorites and it frustrates me, is what I call success kits. People want success. They walk into garden centres and they're confused by the amount of products. Now that they are short of time and they're stressed, isn't it time we put a success kit together and said, if you're buying the tree, this is the success kit you need. If you're growing an indoor plant, this is the success kit you need. Why aren't we putting products together, make it very easy as a grab and go, as a success kit with the allied products next to the living product? Have you seen any, Sid? Because I haven't.
This has been slow to come. For quite a few years, we've had a fall decorating success kit. We didn't call it success kit, but it included a bale of straw, corn stalks, a pumpkin, and a mum, all for one price point. And that has been successful, but it's been really the only successful effort that I've seen and can remember over time. However, necessity being the mother of invention, during this time, what we're seeing are these success kits being created for the online sale. So a garden center that's just getting into e-commerce doesn't have time to put all their inventory on there. They can put together some kits of the items that they would recommend to accomplish a certain task. And those are selling quite well. That's really an interesting learning and something I think will carry forward forever.
I'd like to see us put it together in the brick store as well as in the click store. Because as a horticulturalist, I find most shelves confusing and I haven't got time. I want to see success kits. So it's one I've been pushing a lot this year. And I think now is the time to do it both online and in our brick stores. It's one of my pet ones.
Good.
Let's move on to game changer number 7. Well-being, I think, is going to be huge. We briefly mentioned it in the last session, but people are stressed, people are looking for well-being. Isn't it now the time that our industry really grabbed the well-being strategy and moved forward with that strategy? I think we've been doing it, but we haven't taken it seriously. And what are your thoughts on well-being, Sid?
I agree completely, John. I have worked with one client in particular on repositioning their store and their community as being the well-being place, more or less. We have a little bit different phrase to it, but it means well-being. I think another thing that is happening now that's tied very well into this is self-care. Self-care has been a term that's recently been popularized, and it's just to deal with the stresses of life. But the same is true in the garden center situation. We can help relieve that and help give an opportunity for self-care. Well-being, though, is a very trending, high trending item, and I think we need to capitalize on that. I agree with you.
I was in the UK a few weeks ago, and the Royal Horticultural Society has done a brilliant job, or did do a brilliant job, as an event showing how to use plants as a well-being product in different rooms. And I think they were doing a great job in bringing that together. There's one book I think should be essential on everybody's shelf within the industry. It came out about January, Your Well-Being Garden, How to Make Your Garden Good for You. It comes out of the Royal Horticultural Society in the UK. I actually think this is the book which you all should be reading. It's great to see a book coming out about well-being in the garden, and rather than just plants in the garden. Completely different emphasis. And there's so many ideas in that for anybody in the garden centre industry developing something. I'm not sure if it's available in the States yet. Sid, I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I'm not sure either if it is available. I have seen it promoted somewhere on social media, and I think it's also a great idea. It goes right with that concept of folks are looking beyond the plant. They're looking at creating that space for whatever purpose they're creating it, and escape is one of those. So that's part of well-being. This is exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, there's so many ideas in that book. I think it's a great little book. Let's move on to strategy number 8, personalized shopping one-to-one. Now, I know I've had my pet one about success kits. I know personalized shopping is one of yours. I'm going to let you take this one away, Sid. Personalized shopping one-to-one.
Yes. The one-to-one relationship is something that the garden center can do, the independent can do, that the box stores can't. So it really is a place to shine. If we take our best customers and work with them individually, we can help them to buy even more by personalizing and by helping educate them one-on-one and by providing solutions for the projects that they're trying to accomplish. Personal is what it's all about, really.
Have you seen this happen in the industry much at present?
Yes, it's becoming a popular item, and I think it needs to be looked at with great intent right now. We have the social distancing that's going to prevent us from opening the store the way we used to, where everybody could come in, the more the merrier. Currently, we're seeing restrictions put on the number of folks allowed in a store, and a rule of thumb that's driven by fire code is whatever the capacity of the store is, folks are allowing about 20% of that to come in due to the social distancing. So making appointments for our best customers to come in for a personalized shopping experience is a great way to embrace them and make sure that they are treated special and separately. It's all about a special situation, and the consumers just love that.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the personalised shopping. One thing that actually comes into Australia tomorrow is the stores are being measured on square meterage or square yards to decide how many people can actually be in the store at any one time. So we're seeing that taking place tomorrow.
I think one other thought on this.
Go on.
We can carry on. Oh, another thought on this. As we work with folks one-on-one in a personalized manner, often what we can do, we can have the appointment, we can go into our point of sale system and look up the purchase history of that customer and understand them. We can go on Google Earth and look at their garden, not real close, but a little bit. We can ask them to bring photographs with them or send them to us. But one of the most exciting things is we can now do FaceTime shopping. We can take the customer through the store and help. They can even pick out the item. They tell us which one they want. We pick it up. Oh yeah, that's right. Put it in a cart and go on. This is very exciting. An additional thing we can do is we can go home with them through FaceTime or another service and have them show us around their garden. And, you know, we can see things that they don't see. We know what's good and what's bad there, and we can point those things out. We can also create future opportunities that way. When we see that maybe there's some privacy screening could be put in place, and they've just gotten used to the ugly view of their neighbor's property and never thought about it. But when we suggest that, they may not do it today, but it goes into their mind as a project to do in the future.
This could change the whole aspect of garden retailing. It could be the big changer. Okay. Let's move on to.
It's not a brand new concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, most garden centers on all of these will have some anecdotal evidence of what they've been doing already. I
Yeah.
call those naturally occurring phenomena. They've already had a customer that they gave personalized shopping experience to, even if they didn't call it a personal shopping experience.
Yeah.
Now they can do that systematically with positive intent all the time.
Well, let's move on to game changer of strategy number 9, Floral Friday. I don't know if Floral Friday's come out in America yet. In the UK, the industry has always been promoting green fingers to underprivileged children and children in hospitals. And of course, the industry has basically closed down at present. But what they have started producing or developing is Floral Friday. Floral Friday is quite simple. You wear a crazy floral shirt on a Friday and you pay £1 to a children's charity. And it's being led by the horticultural industry. And I think it's great that the UK is in such a bad way at present, but they've come up with this great idea of Floral Friday. I hope it goes global. I think it's wonderful that our industry is being seen to help underprivileged children, and all credit to Greenfingers and the UK Garden Centre industry for developing the concept of Floral Friday, and they're in such a bad state and wondering where to go as the industry. Have you come across Floral Friday yet, Sid?
I just ran across it in the last 2 days, and I made note of that. I love it. It just kind of flows, not just off your tongue, Floral Friday, but it flows into your life. It's getting ready for the weekend. There's a phrase here and a popular song, working for the weekend, and the Friday kicks off the weekend. So amazing opportunity. Can't wait to see it take hold.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the UK guys can make it go global, because I think it's a lovely concept. So game changer strategy number 10 is something that you mentioned to me 2 or 3 weeks ago, that food future essential. What is food future essential, Sid?
Well, food is essential to life, and plants are essential to life because they provide food. It's food to nourish our bodies and food to nourish our souls. And these are both equally important. An additional thing, the flowers that we sell are important for our food future as well. When we think about that, our flowers are providing the nectar for the pollinators to feed off of. And at different time of the year, they will benefit from that sometimes. So it's not a small thing. It's actually integral in everything that we do is our food future. Global food movement is at risk right now. And moving food from one continent to another continent, from one country to another country has its problems. Moving in the States from one state to another state equally has problems. So taking control of what you're doing in your own yard is a way to assure your future. I was reading a Facebook thread this morning on one of the garden center groups within Facebook, and somebody asked about selling canning supplies in their store, canning supplies. So I suggested that we might call it food preservation as opposed to canning, because it's broader than canning. How we preserve the fruits and vegetables of our harvest is important, and folks are turning to do that at home more already. This will just accelerate that trend. As we see empty grocery store shelves talked about on television, on the news, and so on, and people see that, they witness it themselves every time they go to the grocery. The canned goods are depleted often, and now we're starting to see that show up in the fruit and vegetables, where there are many, there's abundance of certain things, but there's zero of some other things. And this is because those are imported items that are being slowed up in their transport. And there is a reasonable projection of risk in our future here, not in just tomorrow, but months down the road. In order to have food in our garden in July or August, we have to plant that ahead of time in order to get it. Now, I know our, being that you're down under and we're over here, our seasons are opposite. You're just going into the wintering season, and you're in fall. We're just now going into the spring season, and summer will soon follow. But they're foods to be grown and preserved all through the year.
It's interesting that some research came out about 3 days ago in Australia, and consumers are now doing two things. One, they want to support a local business, and they want to buy local product. So we're seeing this whole shift going from a global thinking process into a local thinking process. And I don't think that's going to change as we come out of this situation we're in. I think we're going to see the local movement be a lot stronger than it's been in the past. So I love your food future essential as a concept, as a strategy. So let's hope it's part of the strategy moving forward. It's a long-term one, not a short-term one. Okay, folks, we said we'd give you 10 ideas. I hope we've given you 10 ideas. Let's just quickly look at the future, things that we need to think about. I think there's going to be smaller retail footprints, more boutique retailers. We're going to have retail and services mixed together. We're going to be more ethical in our retailing. I think local retailers are going to start collaborating, and I think that's an opportunity for garden centres. I think consumers have grown to like digital marketing, and I think we are now talking to the family every week through a digital process, even talking to the family in England, Australia, around the world, and sourcing products is going to be more local. So things are changing. I hope Sid and myself have given you some ideas for the future. This will go onto my John Stanley's Gathering Facebook page. It will go onto Sid's page as well. This will also go onto the EPOS Bureau, and they do my videos at present. So I hope we've given you some ideas and some challenges. I hope that you're going to be successful in getting through what is going to be a very difficult few weeks. Sid, do you want to say anything before we close the session?
John, as always, it's great to work with you. It's great to get an international perspective of what is happening around the world. And this is a time that we can accelerate our understanding of the global environment, even though we're working more local. Still, even though we're global thinking, we can implement at home and put these things to work in our own backyard. So I'm excited about that and look forward to working with you again, and have a happy future.
Many thanks. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks to everybody, and keep safe and keep those garden centres and those plant sales going. We'll talk soon. Thanks then. Bye, folks.